Hi everyone, welcome. This is for the first week of November. I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm reacclimatizing to my connection to spirit, and so I am going to do all the zodiac signs for this week and just whatever little messages are meant to come up. No structure, just kind of pulling cards and seeing what starts. So I'm going to actually start with Scorpio because we are in Scorpio season, and we will work our way around the zodiac from there. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. Okay. Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio this week? Okay. All right, so we have Celestial Teacher, which is a 7. Okay. And 7 is the number of knowledge for me, so especially deep spiritual knowledge. So there's definitely some kind of enlightenment coming through. I feel, especially with her crown chakra lit up, some of you might be feeling maybe even some headaches. Ooh, yes. Okay, so be still. And we have a 5. So this is a massive time of change for you. And so what I'm getting from that is sometimes when we feel any kind of pain or discomfort, not saying you're going to be in pain, just saying sometimes we want to stop the pain or we want to do whatever, but the idea here is to just let things flow. What's happening is you're expanding and making room for this newness that you want to come into your life. So some of you might just feel a little bit brain fog or disoriented, but understand that you're getting an upgrade with your crown chakra. So be still, allow the energy to flow. When we just allow things, we naturally relax. So Spirit is just saying, relax into this if you can. There's nothing wrong with taking some sort of beta blocker. Also, we're not supposed to feel pain. Sometimes we do, though, as we resist a little bit. Okay. Yeah, look at that. So we have some strength coming up. Okay. 3 of Cups. Okay. 6 of Pentacles. Oh. Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so very interestingly, from what I get from this Scorpio, I feel like some of you are maybe feeling a little bit on the lonely end of things. You're wanting to connect with people. You're wanting to have relationships that are very much give and take. You want an equal balance relationship. One that empowers you. But I feel like perhaps there are some past relationships, whether it's friendship or romance or whatever. I feel like there's some truth that needs to be reconciled around the hard lines of expectations. So you may have some expectations that weren't met. You may be struggling with the fact that you've given more than you've received, and I feel like this is all coming into reconciliation and balance, and to understand that there could be some people in your life that just aren't meant to be in your life anymore. And what's happening is it's shifting you into a space of bringing people in that are more like-minded and more in flow with who you are or who you want to be. It's going to take some emotional strength, though. Okay, yeah. There's some envisioning here. So we have the 3 of Wands, right? Envisioning the future. It's sort of that intentional thought. Like, what are my intentions with this energy? Okay, I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Yeah, the 7 of Pentacles. Being patient because the seeds have been planted, even though they haven't shown up yet. Okay. Yeah, look at this. This is all refining who you truly want to be and what kind of life you want to live beyond the fears and illusions that kind of keep you a little bit stagnant. So I do feel, Scorpio, that Spirit has heard you. They've heard your call to bring in your soul family, to bring in the people that are aligned with you, that you're going to grow through this next phase with. And I feel like all of the upgrades that you're receiving at this moment in time is allowing you to get really clear on your intentions about what kind of people you want in your life. And people that are willing to accept you in all your uniqueness. And with this Knight of Swords, though, it's also shifting you to allowing you to accept other people in their uniqueness. And so I do feel like there may be some shift in just giving yourself what you haven't received from others, so that when other people do come along, that need from them isn't necessary. Okay, that's very interesting. So these are just quick little messages. I wanted to do this it's like a manifestation deck by Gabriel Bernstein, but I am in awe of the magnificent guidance that's available to me. So your guidance is just to open up to the guidance you're receiving, Scorpio, because it's very powerful this week. And sometimes what they're showing me is sometimes we receive guidance and our protective ego or our egoic mind comes in and wants to try and make sense of whatever it is. And I feel like that's why at the beginning it was just sort of allow things. So allow yourself to receive without it meaning anything at this moment in time. Because I feel like when and this is how our brains work. How do we not work with our brains this way? I know it's crazy, but Spirit is saying if you just absorb the information, if you just absorb whatever it is you're receiving and just let it be, it will become clear on its own. There's almost no need to really hunker down and figure it out. So I really, I feel like this is going to be a powerful shift for you this week in receiving sort of an attunement to your guidance system, your soul guidance team. Okay, so I hope that this has helped. To be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have a wonderful day. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your little mini reading for this week of November 1st. We're just going to take a look and see what Spirit has to say for you this week. Let's see how that rolls out. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we have the Golden Crown. We have self-effort to create change. I feel like this is sort of co-creating with Spirit, because our crown chakra is very much the seed of our knowledge that we receive, right? We receive knowledge from this space. And shadow self. Okay, so you might be feeling a little bit, so you're either coming out of a void or you're going into a void, or it's a transitionary period. And so some of you might be coming out of it, some of you might be going into it, but it's just to understand that this is what they're showing me. It's sort of like, you know, you have like, let's say, I'm going to just use like an example. Let's say you have a ring, and the ring is what it is. Maybe it's sterling silver or something like that. And then you go and you get it gold plated to not only protect the value of the ring, but to expand the value of the ring. It's sort of like that. I just feel like there's some kind of indestructible, even though gold is destructible, it's like indestructible upgrade to yourself. So it's sort of like, you know how you go to the next phase of your expansion and then you have to solidify things. It's sort of like you're solidifying things, and what I feel is just an acknowledgement of the shadow self, or recognition of the shadow self. I think it's interesting that we have 14 and 28, which is like 14 times 2 is 28. So things might be a little bit amplified, or double down. I'm hearing double down on the effort. Okay, so it might feel a little bit discombobulating this week, but just understand this is kind of like the integration of your shadow self. It's like you can't really solidify who you are while there are still parts of you that are separate from yourself, if that makes sense. The transitionary period, however, is really all about allowing the integration of energy, right? Like it needs to happen in order to have that full shift. And they're telling me with the shadow self, it's more about the different parts of you, like the victim in you or the fear or whatever wounds, right, that are coming up. I feel like it's addressing those things. Yeah, look at that. Right off the hop, we have the Nine of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Yeah, what are you creating for yourself, friends? Ooh, yeah. The Three of Swords, Two of Cups, and the Hermit. So this is a very interesting, take on things, because I have to tell you, this is very much a dichotomy of you reflecting on how you've been in your past romantic relationships. And this is why, because here we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is like feeling good, looking good, being your own unique self, owning your shit, all of that stuff. We have the Three of Wands, which is like what you want to envision for the future. So I feel like this is what you want for yourself. But here we have this dichotomy of painful relationships that make you want to isolate yourself and push people away, especially of the romantic nature. And all it is, there's no judgment in this, Sagittarius. All this is showing you what you're afraid of, so you can move through the illusion of your shadow self, through the illusion, and be like, okay, this is understandable that I would react this way because I don't want to experience that again. However, if I'm truly with intention creating my reality, okay, I get to choose what kind of experience I want to have. And I know it's not that simple, but I feel like the things that are blocking you from that ability are going to be coming up this week, so that you can navigate from a healthier place, if you will. Okay, let's see. Ooh, so we have the King of Cups in reverse, which we'll get to in just a moment. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles. Okay. And the Sun. And the Magician. Okay, so here's the deal. The King of Cups in reverse is sort of like denying that emotional mastery, denying yourself that emotional mastery. And unfortunately, sometimes in order to master our emotions, we have to allow ourselves to feel the uncomfortable things we feel, because that's proof of it coming up into a peripheral and allowing it to release, so it no longer affects the energy of our frequency of our energy. The Four of Pentacles is hanging on too tightly to something. And I feel like, and this isn't going to resonate for everybody, but it's understanding that when we have emotional wounds, okay, we've carried them our entire life through the different experiences we've had, we have a really hard time letting them go, because we don't know who we are without them. We don't know how to navigate life without them. And so we kind of hang on to these things because we identify them as who we are. We identify ourselves based on the relationships we have with other people. And Spirit is coming in to say, here's the deal. You're going through this emotional roller coaster because you're meant to navigate from a space of what brings you joy and not what brings you fear. Only the joy and the happiness is actually going to bring you clarity, okay? The fear keeps you in this state of confusion and not trusting yourself. So then we have the Magician, and the Magician, by all intents purposes, is somebody with the power to manifest their dreams into reality. They have all the tools and the resources. So I feel Spirit is telling you at this moment in time, Sagittarius, you have all the tools in your tool belt. You just have to remember to use them. So if you're like most Sagittariuses that love knowledge and you're like a sponge for knowledge, okay, instead of seeking out new knowledge, maybe look at the knowledge you've already traversed in regards to this topic and pull out all the tools you learned. I feel like you're meant to start using the tools that you learn in order to navigate the present moment, okay? All right, let's see what we have for a little bit of guidance here. Oh, whoops. I slowed down and listened to the guidance available to me. Yes, you have all of it already. Even if you have to ask your higher self or your soul guidance team, okay, if I've received this knowledge before, please point me in a direction. Show me where I'm meant to go with this. What am I meant to connect to, or to, where am I meant to look? Where did I store this information? You know, that kind of thing. And it's a great way of honing your intuition, right? So I hope that this has helped you, Sagittarius. We're going to get right into Capricorn at this moment. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to this weekly reading of November 1st. Wow. 3 readings in and I can't even remember the date. But here we are. That's okay, right? That's okay? That's totally okay, I feel. All right, let's just see what Spirit has got for you this week. And it is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You may have already experienced this. You may be about to experience. You might be in the middle of it. Here we are. Ooh, transformation. We have the 33. 33 is the master healer, but it's also the wounded healer. So I feel like some of you are healing your wounds, and it's amplifying your ability to not only heal yourself, but heal others. So, and 9, communication. Okay, so I kind of get the energy that I feel like this has a lot to do, because we do have a cycle ending with this, and I felt like it's more of denial of communication. Now, for some of you, you may have been restricting your gifts a little bit because you feared them, or you feared the power of them. You feared the unknowingness of them. There could be some of you that were disconnected from receiving help or communication from others because you were in a wounded state. But I feel like there's going to be some kind of form of communication that can't be denied this week, however that looks like, or your need to communicate with someone is going to, it's going to feel good. Whereas I'm picking up a lot of fear right now. So there may have been some fear, kind of getting in the way of you being able to communicate. Okay, so that's very interesting. It's so fascinating because green is generally the color of the heart chakra, like with this card. Sorry, it's kind of glared, but I feel like it's almost like this old sludgy green sludgy stuff coming out of the heart chakra, sort of just allowing, when things are kind of sludged up, they move slowly and almost painfully, but then as you clear that up, it very much like things just flow. So I feel like where things have been really slow for you and kind of trudging through, I feel like there's going to be some movement, some more flow in the energy, if you will. Okay. Yeah, look at that. First card right up, 9 of Swords. Okay. Whoops. And the Moon. Definitely lots of fear happening. Okay, but we know that fear and the Fool, beautiful. We know that fear is an illusion created by the wound, okay, that your protective ego is trying to protect you from experiencing again, right? The 5 of Cups, yeah. So crying a little bit over spilled milk and Judgment. So this is a massive shift for you this week. Like these cards aren't playing around. We're moving from a space of moving through our fear, experiencing our fear, where some of you may have ignored your fears a little bit, or maybe done things to avoid your fear, as in, I'm going to busy myself cleaning the house, or I'm going to busy myself creating something. I really feel like some of you have hunkered down and just said, you know what? If I'm going to feel this, I'm going to move through it because I'm tired of it coming up. And I think that's really beautiful. That Fool card here is telling me that you kind of took that leap of faith of being like, I need to do things a little bit differently. And even though I'm worried about what things are going to come up from the past that are haunting me, I feel like it's so weird. So they're like, I have to blow the horn on all this. I don't even think that's a real saying, but it's like, I need to blow the horn on this because I'm tired of being the way that I've been. It's not working for me, and I need to do something that's actually going to make me feel good and move through this energy. So I feel, Capricorn, you're really And if you haven't yet, hunker down and just face your fears, because they're not what we think they are. It's like the moment you shine a light on them, like a flashlight, they no longer have the same fear resonance. But the judgment is like letting go of old stories of yourself. So I feel like this is a lot about maybe the unrealistic standard you hold yourself to, and the fear of what that means to let that go, and how other people are going to receive it, and what that means for your future, and all of these like what ifs I feel are coming through. Oh, look at that. Yep, slow and steady wins the race, kids. We got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, the Magician. You have all the tools and resources you need. Oh. The Eight of Wands. The more firm you feel about your decisions, the more clear, the more quickly things will move. And the Four of Wands. So this is absolutely going to be something for you to celebrate, Capricorn. This is going to be something that you've worked really hard at, and it's going to pay dividends, but it's not something that comes easily. So it's almost like, and it's almost, oh, this is interesting. So the analogy that they're giving me is, you know how you ever watch those house renovation shows and people have to pay like $10,000 to fix the electricity or the electrical stuff. And it's sort of like you're paying all this money and you won't even be able to see the improvement. I feel like this is very much referring to that. It's not like you are cleaning your room and you can see the results. It's sort of like you're going to have to feel the results. You're going to have to, you know, because it's sort of like, okay, we've spent $20,000 to fix the electricity in our home. Okay, we don't see the results, but we know, and we feel safer in the home, right? So I just feel like this is something that's going to be worth celebrating, although it's not going to have the tangible results that maybe you're used to. And you'll know that you're on the right track with this, because here's the thing, the slow and steady card is all about, you know, this Knight of Pentacles, it's always moving. Even though it's moving slowly, it's always moving in the direction for the greatest and highest good, right? So we know that you're constantly moving in the right direction. The speed with which things will come are going to come from a place of clarity. So that's when you move out of that sludgy old stuff and into that flow. So I really feel like I do feel like this is going to be really beautiful for you, Capricorn, because you're going to move. The more often you face the fears that come up for you, the easier it's going to get. It's going to become a new routine, a new flow for you. So I feel like that's awesome. Okay, let's see. True manifestations are powered by service and love. And here's the deal, Capricorn. I feel like in this moment, you're really guided to serve yourself, because in serving yourself, you're going to be able to serve others in a greater capacity. And this is really moving out of fear, right? That fear is the sludgy stuff, I think. You're moving out of that fear. And when you do that, more love comes in, and love moves fast and it's high vibrational. And it just feels good. So I hope that this has helped. We're going to move on to Aquarius next. Hi, Aquarius. Okay, so let's get down to business. What is going on with you this week of November 1st, 2021? We're getting to the brass tacks of the year, that's for sure. Oh, look at this. Oh, let go. So we do have forgiveness, okay? We have the let go card, and I had just honestly, like yesterday I had this epiphany about, you know, letting go, about forgiveness. And for those of you that aren't ready to forgive other people, Spirit wants you to at least make the effort to forgive yourself. And oftentimes we don't realize how much we're holding against ourselves until we start doing that process. Oh yeah, let Spirit guide you. We've got a 7, so we have a deeper spiritual knowledge. We have the Celestial Teacher card. Let the solutions come through your crown, come through your knowing, come through your energetic guidance system. Okay, so we have this 19, and I kind of want to talk about the number of 19, because 1 is the number of self, 9 is the number of endings, okay? And you're in choosing to forgive, you're actually creating an ending. You're actually choosing to move yourself into a state of neutrality so that you can open up to higher vibrational energies in regards to whatever situation it is. So let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Queen of Pentacles, look at her sitting there on her throne, growing her crystals. Okay, taking care of herself, taking care of her garden. Yeah, we've got the Three of Swords, though. What do we got with this Three of Swords? Okay, this is very, very interesting. Okay, so what Spirit is telling me with this, okay, what narrative is coming through is sometimes we want to take everything with us in our new beginning. We have this vision of ourselves. We want to create something for ourselves, but we can't always take everyone and everything with us, because some of the energies that we're wanting to take with us counteract the energies of what we envision. So there might be, it could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be beliefs, it could be behavioral patterns, it could be thought patterns. It's going to be different for everyone. But sometimes when we want to move into this new reality, we can't be this confident person and still have low self-worth, right? So there's going to be some things, and it's going to feel painful, because there are parts of you that you've always known to be true about yourself. So there's a familiarity there about it. And so I feel like with this Chariot card, which is very interesting, because it's sort of that it's that it's divinely driven is the I'm kind of getting this is funny, a few different it's like being divinely driven to create that new phase, but really being firm. This is nurturing structure. So I feel like what's coming through this week is very much clarity on what you're trying to bring into your new prosperous beginning. That can't come. So you have to, it's almost like you're being guided to really be firm about your decision to move forward. And there's no right or wrong answer here, Aquarius. There's no right or wrong in this. There's no like, oh, if you choose to not move forward at this moment in time because you want to keep these energies in, you know, there's no wrong answer. It's just sort of like, okay, you want this. And sometimes you have to release the past or release the parts of your life right now that aren't supporting your future vision. And the Emperor is, you know, the Emperor actually has a very compassionate heart. And maybe that's part of why the forgiveness of self came up a lot. If you're having a lot of guilt of leaving people or leaving things behind, or fearing that you're going to have regret, you know, it might be good to forgive yourself for all of those things, because you're not doing it, you know, you're doing it from a place of compassion for yourself and really wanting what's best for yourself. And consciously, I feel the majority of you are in that place, but our subconscious is a whole other element that we definitely need to take into consideration. So let's kind of see. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. Whoops. The Six of Wands. Whoops. Yeah, the Ace of Swords. So thinking about things in a different way. Okay. And the Justice card. Okay. There needs to be some kind of balance of karma here. I feel like certain things just need to be let go of, whether this is the relationship with yourself or it's a relationship with someone else. You're being guided to create a brand new legacy for you and your ancestral line. And you're going to be victorious no matter what, especially if you've been doing the work to really become aware and work through the things that are no longer serving you. I feel like This is very much just, this is interesting. So this popped in. Some of you are carrying old energy around deservingness. Is this my karma? Do I deserve this? It's sort of like you need to become victorious in your convictions is what I heard. So to understand what is your inner narrative running, it's one thing to be like, yeah, I deserve this. But if you feel like there's anything that you've done in the past that makes you feel unworthy of this new beginning, that has to be shed, that has to be let go of. So they're giving me an example. For some of you who have been abandoned, you fear abandoning others out of fear of creating bad karma. But you aren't abandoning someone with the intention of harming them. You're technically, I guess, abandoning them because you don't want to abandon yourself, your dreams, or what you want for yourself anymore, okay? So I feel like this is going to be a deep dive into just navigating what it is you are having a hard time letting go of so you can step into what you want to create for yourself. Oops. Okay. Right? It's good to feel good. So I feel like Spirit is saying whatever it is in your life that doesn't make you feel good, perhaps is old stuff that needs to be let go of. So I hope that this has helped, Aquarius. We're going to move on to Pisces next. Hi, Pisces. Okay, so let's get into this. The week of November 1st for you, what do we have going on? For Pisces. Oh, that was fast. Ooh, surrender. Yeah. Just surrender. And honestly, I love this imagery because if you think about it, let's say you're in the water or you're in a waterfall or you're standing in the shower and you just tilt your head back, your arms naturally flop to the side and you kind of just surrender to the moment. So even if you have to physically do that for yourself to just relax, I think it'll help. Okay, worlds within worlds. Very interesting. You could be experiencing a lot of collective energy. You could be experiencing having 1 foot in your old life and 1 foot in your new life. There could be very much some of you could be even experiencing like different realities. I know that sounds kind of interesting, but whether it's in your dreams or, you know, glitches in the matrix, I feel coming up. But I'm hearing from Spirit to just kind of, if you can, surrender. Surrender to the moment, because there's nothing your human self can or needs to do. It's sort of like give it up to God, give it up to Spirit, give it up to Source. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we got the Page of Wands. Oh. The 9 of Wands. 2 of Swords. I love this. I love this. The 3 of Wands. Okay. Lots of fire energy. So you might have lots of fire stuff going on. And then we have the 9 of Cups. So as I'm pulling these, I'm giggling because Spirit is like, listen, you just have to hunker down right now. You just have to hunker down and just allow the energy to move because there's nothing you can actually do. It's almost like they're showing me a house being built. And you know, you hired a contractor, you have all these professionals building your house for you, and the only thing that you're going to do by stepping in and trying to help out is kind of get in the way. And it's not to say that you can get in the way of this. This is something that is actually just steamrolling its way through the world right now. It's nothing you can actually do to stop it or whatever. I feel like Spirit is just saying, okay, just because I feel like you probably feel blind. You don't really know what's coming. You can feel it. You're trying to envision it, you know, and the truth is your wishes are coming true, but you just have to persevere through this space of like, you know what, you gave us what your intentions are and we're creating that for you. And it's sort of like you just have to hunker down because there's nothing that you can do at this time to help it along. They're not going to give you any information. It's almost like it's just meant to be like this surprise coming in, okay? It's very interesting. Okay, yeah. Don't let fear overwhelm you. You're in good hands. You're protected. Like the contractors you hired, beautiful. The contractors you hired are the best in the business, okay? You called on the ascended masters, you called on your angels, you called on your soul guidance team to help. Yeah, look at this. This is beautiful. So so let them do what they do best. And when fears come up, reacquaint yourself with the energy of love, the love you have for yourself, the love that shows you that you're deserving of all of this that you're creating, regardless of, you know, regardless of whether you're doing anything about it or not. You've already done the work. They're kind of saying, preoccupy yourself with refining certain things. You want to get into a creative project. You want to work on something playful, you know, distract yourself with things that you enjoy doing at this time, because there's actually nothing that you can do. This is absolutely going to be the space of some form of emotional mastery, because you're being guided to learn when to trust and surrender. And that's not the easiest thing to do, especially when we've been taught our entire lives that we need to control things to get the appropriate outcome. You know, think of goal setting. You know, if you do this, you're going to get this, but you're working with a whole other, you're not even in the same arena. Like you're in a whole other space of beings that you're working with. And they're doing, you know, there's nothing you can do that's going to make it more or make it less. So I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. Okay. You've attracted this. And you just have to be patient, because they're building the home of your dreams. Whether it's an actual house or not is up to you. I don't know what you created for yourself, but just surrender if you can, Pisces, because I feel like it's been given up to the right people. So I hope that this helps, and we're going to move on to Aries next. Hi, Aries. Okay, let's take a look here. What do we have for you this week of November 1st? November 1st. Let's see. Be fearless. Well, that's right up your flippin' alley. Look at that. Don't mind my nail polish. I haven't redone them yet. I'm being fearless with this messy nail polish. How about that? Okay, what else do we have here? So we have creation, we have communication, we have joy, we have, okay, free spirit. Yeah, you're meant to really just do your own thing this week. Okay, you're meant to just, and 13 is, again, self-joy through effort. So really make an effort, okay, to allow yourself to just do whatever it is you need to do for yourself this week. Don't follow anyone's rules. Don't follow anyone's schedule. Don't, you know, do follow your own intuition, your own instincts, your own heart, right? Where's your heart leading you? Where is your heart leading you to create, to be joyful? What is that? Okay. Oh, yeah. So we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Sun. The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. Dang. The Nine of Pentacles isn't a queen, but she sure could be. Okay. The Fool. Release restrictions. Whatever restrictions you're putting on yourself. Yeah. I feel like, so here's the example that they're giving me, because this is something that I just recently am moving through. So I feel like it's probably pretty relative for a lot of people, whether it's this particular situation or not. So an example with social media, you have algorithms. And if you want to be viable, you have to follow the algorithms. However, for those of you that are free spirits that are meant to just move to the beat of your own drum, the algorithm isn't going to work for you. So you can either give your power to the algorithm or you can give the power to yourself. And I really feel like for some of you, it's really the Two of Pentacles. I mean, change is inevitable. Change is coming. That's sort of the energy of this particular card. But it also talks about balancing the physical with the spiritual. So I feel like you're meant to really create from a space of your own vibrational energy, but create in the physical, if that makes sense. Does it bring you joy? Does it make you happy? Or does it, suck the wind out of your sails? Do you feel like you're being your authentic self? Are you vibrationally aligned with your true energy? Okay. Are you following the rules to the point where you can't take that leap of faith? I really feel, so boredom and discontentment, okay? With this Four of Cups. You're going to get bored with things if you're following someone else's energy, if you're following someone else's idea of what you're meant to do. So, and whether you decide to do this for the rest of your life or not, I'm not sure it matters, but I feel like the energy is going to be really supportive of you in this particular aspect this week. Okay, so it might be a great time to just play with whatever that looks like. If you've been kind of bogged down by certain things, allow yourself to kind of go in opposition of that and play with that. What does that mean? Okay, so let's see. Yeah, we've got the Hanged Man. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's really cool. The Page of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to pull the rest, but I think that's what they're showing me. This is sort of like the pauses future card. So you're almost getting to dabble in something this week to see if it's almost like trying it on. You're going to try this on to see if it works for you, to see if that is what you want for yourself. Yeah, look at that. Three of Wands, envisioning the future. Nine of Wands, okay, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, but really it's going to ignite your inner fire. To be able to move through this world in a space of full acceptance of yourself is something we don't really know a whole lot of, but we know that it's meant to feel really good. So the Page of Pentacles is that, to me, it's that learning, new practical solutions, right? This is you're in transition, so it's an opportunity to actually shift your life in a way of being like, I'm going to operate however I need to for my energy, right? We don't know how to do that because we've spent our entire lives operating, going with the flow of traffic. But we're kind of off-roading right now, Aries. You're kind of going into this off-roaded place of being like, I want to really explore happiness. What makes me happy in this moment? What do I want to do? What feels good, right? And so you'll notice, though, you're going to have moments of these kind of like discontentment coming up, and that's just reminding you that maybe that's an old path that you've explored before, but you kind of explored it because you thought that's what you had to do. So I don't know if this is going to have to do with work, or if it's going to have to do with personal, like your love life, or just how you see yourself. I do feel it's very much work related, but you'll know what it resonates, if it resonates for you. When I truly surrender my desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. So I feel like you're meant to just experience this week from a state of joy so that you can surrender into what's going to come from your future. I feel like we try so hard to navigate the present in such a controlled way so that we have the outcome we desire, but we kind of miss the point of really experiencing the present moment. So I hope that this has helped, and we're going to move on to Taurus now. Okay, Taurus, what do we have for you for the week of November 1st? What do we have for you for the week of November 1st? Oh, yeah, so we have some shadow self. I know everybody fears the shadow self, but the shadow self just wants a big old hug. Okay. And transformation. So we have the wounded healer. We have the wounded energy, or the healing master healing energy. So healing the shadow self is coming up for you this week. So you could have been through a phase where you were healing some shadow type stuff, or you are going to be stepping into the phase where it's going to feel a little bit like a void. but to understand that it's actually moving that low vibrational energy out of you so that you can wholeheartedly accept yourself. Okay. Let's see what they want to go on about. There could just be little things coming up for you. Could be like things you've struggled with, or the way maybe you put yourself down, or you're remembering certain things. Like I feel like this is more of just seeing things like you've seen these things before, but seeing them in a new way so that they can be healed. Okay, yeah, look at this. So we do have some relationship stuff. We have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so we have some defensiveness. Okay. Yeah, so this was a higher level of commitment, maybe. And whether you're actually in the high level of commitment, it doesn't matter. When we have a serious relationship with anyone and we don't resolve the issues from that relationship, we could still be dealing with them in the present. Okay, so just know that it doesn't have anything to do with this. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. Okay, and the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is these are relationships you've had, or a relationship you've had that made you doubt yourself, that made you question your own knowing, your own, whether it's gifts or not. I feel like question your own emotions, question your own feelings, question your own value. Okay. Really kind of put you in a defensive place where you're constantly having to defend yourself or explain yourself. So if you've been in a relationship, I feel this week there's going to be some stuff coming up around it that's going to allow you to kind of move through that and heal it, because it's almost like the relationship created a fragment within you, and the shadow aspect of yourself came from that, of this unworthy person of love, or, you know, whoever it was. I just feel like cut away a part of you. And it could, again, it may not have been, we know that a lot of relationships start in the home with our parents, but it really would have been obvious in this relationship, I feel. So I feel like it's going to come up because it needs to move out. You need to reclaim that part of yourself and integrate and heal. And then, I feel it has to happen. So that, yeah, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So again, we have family. So it could have started in the family home. You look at that, the Six of Cups, unhappy memories. But we have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is very much piercing the truth and having the endurance to pierce the truth of that situation. Oh, so we have another, yeah, look at that. We have the Lovers. And we have the Five of Wands. So I feel like, I'm just going to put that over there. With this Five of Wands in reverse, like Five of Wands is mixed messages, right? It's confusion. It's like upright. It's a conflict between the head and the heart. But it's almost like what they're showing me is you're constantly trying to reconcile your value because of this situation that you were in. So you're constantly trying to prove your worth, but really Spirit is asking you to really navigate those memories that make you feel less than, so that you can reconcile them and realize that they have nothing to do with who you actually are. And this card in reverse, it's almost like you gave your power away to somebody else. Like, you know, when it's upright, we have the head and the heart are kind of arguing, but it's like your soul and you knows the truth, but then your conditioning is like giving your power away to someone else. It's not trusting what you know to be true. So I feel like Spirit is saying you're going to have an opportunity to navigate this week from the eyes of truth, from the eyes of this Spirit's truth, and recognize that this person that you were with, or whoever, it could have been more than one relationship. Okay, we know we pattern. So this person or these people that you were with sort of created this version of you that doesn't actually exist, and you were given an opportunity this week to heal it. and move it out of your energy. Move it out of your energy for good, and just fully start stepping into wholeheartedly accepting yourself from how you see yourself and not how you were taught to see yourself. So my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. Okay, so that's a beautiful confirmation, because it talks about how the way you think about yourself, right? Does it make you feel good, or does it not? Because when you don't feel good about it, you block yourself from receiving what you truly deserve. Even if it's deeply subconscious, you could say with all the vigor in the whole world saying, I really want this for myself, but if on some level you've been taught that you're not worthy of it, you're not going to receive it. So I really feel like this is correcting an opportunity to correct how you think and see yourself. So I hope that this will help, Taurus. We will move on to Gemini next. Hi, Gemini. Let's take a look at your November 1st. The week of November 1st, what does Spirit have for you this week? Ooh, okay. So we have let go and believe. This is very interesting. So the let go card is very much a card of forgiveness for me. And if you're not ready to forgive someone else, forgive yourself. Okay, because there's certain things you're trying to bring from the past that aren't serving your present. And for some of you, there's a struggle to believe that this is possible. So maybe you've tried to release things before and they still keep following you around. So it kind of makes you feel a little bit disheartened when it comes to believing. But I feel this week you're going to get a glimpse at the subconscious, because that's actually where we store a lot of things, and consciously we can choose to let them go. But unless we're willing to sometimes dig into the deeper issues and recognize that they're real, okay? So Spirit is giving me an example of being like, saying you're worthy and truly believing with every fiber of your being that you're worthy are two different things. And until you understand the inner narrative that is running in your programming, in your existence, like your inner thoughts, they kind of remain hidden. They kind of work against what we consciously want. And I feel like you're being shifted into a place where you can navigate those things so that you can create permanence in letting things go. So let's see. Yeah, so we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles for some people is financial issues. You may have constant state of scarcity or feelings of lack or worrying that there won't be enough. But to me, this card has always been the card of childhood wounding. So things that we, look at that, it's kind of, do I want to deal with this or do I want to keep going? Do I want to deal with this? So you might be struggling a little bit with moving forward with healing yourself, but I don't know if we really have a choice in that matter once we're kind of awake to it. But understanding that even though we kind of like leave things in the past, sometimes we carry the emotions that we create or that we experienced in that moment into the future with us. So very interesting. Let's see what else we have. Yep. Very, very interesting. So here's the deal, guys. There are going to be some things, some people, some emotions, some whatever that you're going to have to be really firm with and cut them off. Like, I feel like some of you are good at being like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm just going to cut it out of my life. And regardless of if it's a person or not, I'm not going to sit here and judge anyone for what they need to do for their well-being. You almost have to do that with the stuff from your past. You almost have to have the same attitude with it and being like, you know what, you no longer serve me. I want to create this new prosperous beginning. And I just feel like for some of you, it's a struggle because of how slow it feels. But you can't really rush through this particular type of healing, I feel, because you're rewriting your belief systems and you're rewriting your ability to create your reality. So this is absolutely a massive milestone for you, just to understand that this, you know, it's not going to all come into accumulation this week. It's not like you have to master it this week, but this week there's going to be energy that's going to support you in really letting go, and letting go of anything that affects your beliefs. Okay. Yeah, we've got the Page of Wands, okay, which is our really our magical creativity. Okay. Oh, look at that. We have the Six of Wands, so we have victory with this, right? There's definitely a victory energy happening here. You can celebrate. It's so okay. I get you. I hear you. Okay. All right. I'll stop talking because I know you've got yeah, beautiful. Okay. So what they were saying while I was babbling on there was, here you have, it's so funny because what I heard was, there's going to be some of you who are going to need to create a eulogy for your past, sort of celebrating all the wonderful things about you, but also letting go of all of the things that happened to you, and kind of just allowing yourself, because in that transition, in that death, you're going to be reborn. Even you're going to solidify who you truly are in this particular moment. And it's going to help you release all the things you're hanging on to out of fear, right? We hang on to the things sometimes that don't necessarily feel good anymore because we don't know who we are without them. We don't know who we are without the stories about who we are, what we've been told about ourselves. We don't know who we are outside of our experiences from the past, but Spirit is coming forward and saying, we get to create that now. We don't have to keep living that same existence, you know. And for some people, the things that happened to them, you know, gave them drive. It motivated them to be who they are. But those motivations are shifting, right? We're shifting from a place of needing to improve or be better to needing to be happy and to experience. So I feel like there's definitely a big shift for you, Gemini, in just allowing yourself to explore what you might be hanging on to still. The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good. Yeah, you're stepping into what's another level of really this highest and greatest good for you without the baggage. I just see you dropping it off at the baggage claim and being like, you know, I don't know, not that you want to give it to anybody else, but I feel like you're just not meant to take it with you any further. So I hope that this helped. We're going to move into Cancer now. Hi, Cancer. Okay, so Cancer signs, let's go ahead and see what November 1st has in store for you. November 1st, this particular week right now. What do we got going on? Oh, a new chapter. Okay, we have a 24, so we have balance and peace and effort for that through love. All to create more love. Ooh, but we got compassion and we have it in reverse. So it's also a transitionary period. So you may be struggling with having a little bit of compassion for yourself as you transition into this new chapter, to understand that it's not like an actual book where you just, you know, one page is the last page of that chapter and you flip the page and you're in a new chapter. Whenever I see this, they always show me the energy of a blood transfusion. So, you know, you don't drain somebody completely of blood and then put new blood in. It takes a while for the blood to cycle its way out. So understand that this particular phase for you is taking time because you're moving really massive stuff and you're bringing some really massive stuff in. And it can be uncomfortable, but that's where the compassion comes in, because when you have compassion, you have more patience. That's just a natural algorithm to life, right? So I feel like your new chapter is here. it's just going to take a bit to fully manifest, because as long as the old energies are in your peripheral, it's going to be hard to experience the new chapter, the new phase, the new life. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh. Okay, yeah, 3 of Wands, envisioning. You've envisioned that future. You've co-created with Spirit. Okay, that's gonna, yeah. Okay, there's gonna be some truths coming out. What do we got with this truth? It's not, yeah, very good. Yeah. Oops. Ooh, that's interesting that came up upside down, however. But we will, and then that was the Page of Pentacles. So here's what's going on, and this is all like up, down, confused. So I feel like there's a lot of up and down happening for you. Understanding that there are some necessary losses and some necessary sacrifices that have to be made in order for you to stay true to yourself and stay in a space of filling your own cup. Okay. The King of Cups it's the emotional agreement card. It's the empathy card. I feel like there's some of you who are like, why can't I have my cake and eat it too? But the truth is that you can't. There are just some situations that aren't going to allow you to stay in a space of loving yourself wholeheartedly, you know. And so I feel like this week you're going to be guided to really be honest with yourself and accept whatever truth bombs Spirit has to bring in for you, because that's part of what's cycling out. Okay, some of you may have sacrificed a lot of yourselves for others because you thought maybe, I think this is just a small group, but you may have thought it was going to get you what you wanted, but emotionally it's not serving you. And that's that King of Cups in reverse. There's just a disconnect with the emotional aspect of this experience. And as a Cancer sign, you're going to want to experience emotions in a healthy way. So very interesting. Yeah. So your future feels a little bit paused at this moment in time. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. You'll have to be a little patient because the truth is a really hard pill to swallow sometimes. Okay. And I feel like there's going to be, I feel like there's some energies of regret with this Seven of Pentacles. I don't know why. That's not normally what I get from it. But with this Knight of Cups, this is sort of moving you to a space to being passionate about life again. I feel like some of you have struggled with feeling passionate, you know, connecting with your passion, feeling really good, passionate about yourself, maybe passionate about your relationships. I feel some of you can be really mean and sharp when your needs aren't being met. And so Spirit, I feel, is coming in to be like, it's time to really reflect on where you're not meeting your own needs and recognizing that there might be some situations that you're staying in that aren't actually meeting your needs. So it's sort of like, and it's not about judging yourself. I really feel like it's just digging deeper and finding that compassion for yourself so you can move through this and really, really maybe even move into a situation that's better for you. Directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. Okay, so you might be focused on a relationship or a work situation or an idea that's not really thriving, but that's where all your energy is going, and it kind of feels stagnant. It's not doesn't feel good or happy or expansive for you. So, you know, I know it's kind of hard, but I really feel like you're moving through this so that you can live a life that you want and you can feel really good. And yes, you're not going to feel good all the time, but you're going to feel good more often than you do now. And I really feel like this new chapter that you're being guided to create needs to be created from that inexhaustible source of love within you. And that inexhaustible source of love has to be offered to you first so that you can understand what it is you want. So I hope that this has helped you. We're going to move on to Leo next. Hi, Leo. Let's take a look at what November 1st looks like for you. The week of November 1st, this week. Oh, so we have mirrored souls. So this could be a twin flame connection, or you could be having a lot being reflected back to you at this moment in time. And we have gratitude. So I feel like this week you're going to be able to recognize where certain aspects of yourself or your life are being reflected back to you, and being really grateful for that, because it's allowing you to determine what aspects of yourself you want to keep around and what aspects of yourself you want to release and make room for a more authentic experience. Okay. So I think that's very interesting. Like sometimes it kind of shows up as like, why is this person being like this with me? Or why are multiple people being this way with me? It could be just a recognition of the energy that you're projecting onto others and that they're responding to. So it's allowing you to have a better understanding of what energy you are putting out there. Oh, yeah, we've got transformation. Beautiful. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of these cards this is the first time the death card showed up, but a lot of these cards are very similar for the collective. So they're just tweaked a little bit for a unique experience for this particular zodiac sign. So we have the Five of Pentacles, and when I pulled the Five of Pentacles, I heard reactionary behavior. So I feel like this week you're going to be experiencing a lot around how you react to people or how people react to you. And you are not responsible for how anyone reacts to you. That's theirs. Okay, but it can give you some insight on the energy that's radiating out of you. We have the Sun in reverse, and the sun is kind of the energy of belonging to me. It's happiness, it's joy. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Sun in reverse. So this is kind of like being left out in the cold. Okay, so some of you, I feel, which is very interesting. Some of you, I feel, try really hard to fit in, and there's no judgment in that. We all want to belong, but I really feel like there's, it could be the group that you spend time with don't really get you, or you're going to be, you're almost, so here's the interesting thing. But because of this mirrored soul card, they're saying is there's a good part of you that's probably where you've rejected yourself, or that you've left yourself out in the cold somewhere. So I feel like this week is just, it's kind of navigating what that feels like for you, because this is a massive transformation where you're just you're grateful for the experience so that you can come back to your authentic self, but it's going to require some perseverance. It's going to take some time, because these are deep wounds of not being included. And for some of you, I feel like you've written it off to people being intimidated by you, or being intimidated by your energy, and needing to defend yourself. But I feel like it's kind of shifting into a softer state of acceptance for yourself, and then letting other people sort their own things out, and not needing to worry about why they responded to you that way, if that makes sense. Okay. Yes, we have the Look at that showing up again. Leo and judgment. Yeah. Can you let go of the old stories of you? Can you let go of other people's narrative of you? Can you stand in your authenticity without needing to defend yourself? It's going to require some emotional mastery, Leo, because it never feels good when you feel like you have to explain who you are, or you can't just be yourself, or people receive you in a way that makes you kind of feel bad about yourself because you're just being who you know yourself to be in this moment. But I really feel like this is all happening so that you can just shed the reception of others and focus on how you receive yourself, so that you can be in this, this little bit of a place of peace with it all. Can you stand in your light without it being a defensive gesture? Without worrying about whether you're received well or not. That's a difficult shift to make, but this is all happening so that you don't have to feel like you no longer belong. Like you don't have to feel like you're constantly, it's almost like it's really interesting, and this might just be a small group of you, but constantly reinventing yourself. And it's not like you're consciously saying, you know what, I need to reinvent myself so people love me or accept me. It's a very deep subconscious thing. It's a hidden motivator, or hidden underlying motivator of what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And I just feel like there's going to be some really digging a little bit deeper into that. Yeah. True manifestations are powered by service and love. And they're not powered by the old energies of being valued for what you do. I just feel like, and some of you, it's interesting, they're saying some of you may have even manifested these relationships so that you could experience this, so that you could experience really coming back to yourself, being of service to yourself, being of service to love, and doing what you need for you out of love. Learning to truly love yourself regardless of how people receive you. That's not always an easy thing to do, but I hope that this helped, guys. We're going to move on to Virgo next. Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your little reading for November 1st, the week of November 1st. Can't believe we're in November 1st already. Oh, okay, so we have be still, but what are these two? Oh, compassion and communication. And then we have be still. So I'm going to put be still back because there's really not room for it here. But to understand, like, what I get from this is that it's almost, there might be some of you that are not allowing a cycle to end. And it's almost like you can only allow it to end through compassion. So what I mean by that is oftentimes people want things to end because they're just done with them, or, it's a different energy, or they're in a space where they can let go. But I feel for some of you, you're hanging on to something that may not be serving you. And Spirit is, I feel, you may even be waiting for communication in order to be able to move on or move through whatever it is. And this could be a relationship, this could be a job, this could be finances, it could be anything. Okay, this isn't specific to one genre, but I feel like some of you might be waiting for communication, but the truth is the communication isn't what's going to allow you to move. It has to be a deep internal choice. And for that, you have to have compassion for the part of you that isn't ready to move on yet. And so I feel like there's going to be some kind of shift with that. But let's take a look and see what Spirit has to say about that. So there's very much, and we have the Four of Wands here. So this is very much relationship oriented. Yeah, because we have wish fulfillment on the bottom. It's not quite out yet. So this is a heavy energy. We have this passionate Ace of Wands that wants to be picked up, it wants to be discovered, it wants to be played with. And then we have the persevering Knight of Wands that doesn't really hold back, and really, like, it's almost like Spirit is saying, this is happening whether you're ready or not. It's time, you know, it's happening. And maybe because of the grief that I've experienced recently, I recognize that there are certain things that I needed to do to move into a state of acceptance. And when it comes for me, it was a physical death there. You know, my cat Molly of 15 years passed away, and I'm still a little bit emotional about it, but I had to do certain things that just made it final. Even though there's no way she's coming back in her body, there's no way that she was going to come back into my life in that capacity. Like, there was a finality to that. But I had to move through certain things, like posting on social media that she was gone kind of made it official, cleaning up her things, you know, picking up her ashes, like all of these things that allowed me to close that chapter. And I just had to have compassion for the part of me that wasn't ready to let her go. And so for some of you, this could be a relationship that it's time to let it go. But it doesn't mean, especially if the person is still alive, it doesn't mean that you have to let them go. It just means that you have to let go of what once was, because it can no longer be again. So allow yourself to cry, and allow yourself to grieve, and allow yourself to experience the pain, and have compassion for that part of you that isn't ready to let go, understanding that this is moving whether you have control over it or not. Like, it's almost like you're going to get to a phase at some point, Virgo, where you're like, you know, why can't I let this go? And it's because you're not allowing yourself to move through that grieving process, feeling like it's going to finalize things. And it kind of does have to finalize things. It has to finalize what once was, because that could never be again. So it's almost like in trying to hold on to that over here, you're kind of staying in that stagnant energy that can't grow anymore. It can't move. It can't evolve. It can't change. So, you know, and that's not an easy, I know that's not an easy thing to experience, but yeah. Yeah, there's that wish fulfillment card. Okay. Oh. Very interesting. So we have some illusionary energy here, and you know, our mind works in illusionary ways. So I really feel like there's a lot of stuff hidden behind what's happening right now. And you may need to call in your soul family to help you with this. You may have to have some kind of ceremony around it. Maybe honoring, you know, I know for me, I did my own little ceremony with her, but my friends were like, oh, do you want to do like a celebration of life for her? I wasn't ready to do a celebration of life, but there might be part of you that will feel really good about the ritualistic side of, you know, creating finality around this so that you can move into sorry, a newer energy and move into the space of wish fulfillment. You know, sometimes we call in what we wish for, but we don't realize that there are hidden things blocking us from receiving those wishes. And so Spirit is coming in to point out or bring into our peripheral or your peripheral what needs to be cleared out of the way. And the moon is an interesting card because it really is about fear and illusion. Like, oh my God, what if I do? What do I do if I let this go? Does it mean that I don't want it anymore? And that's not the case. You don't want what was, but maybe you want something in the future, but you can't have that something in the future when you're still living in the past, right? And things always look much scarier in the dark than they do in the sunlight. They take on a whole other meaning, a whole other resonance. So I really feel like this week is going to be about you just allowing yourself to navigate why or where you're still hanging on to things, and have compassion, have enough compassion for yourself to move through that energy. Because I feel like it's happening whether you want it to or not. Yeah. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. So that brings up a whole other concept, that there might be some of you that are struggling with being like, well, this was so good, I could never have this again. This is a once in a lifetime thing. And so part of it for you is to shift out of that narrative and understand that that's not necessarily true. That if you created something like that for yourself, or wrote in something like that for yourself in this, instance, you can do it again. And that maybe that's part of what also needs to be let go of, is some of those old beliefs and things. I know there was the greatest gift in Molly's passing was allowing myself to grieve and let go. The grief was such a huge gift, to be honest. It was such a huge gift for me. But I hope that this has helped, and we'll go into Libra next. Libra, okay, so what do we have for the week of November 1st for you? What is going on with this week? What do we have? Oh, we have mirrored souls. Okay, so this could be a twin flame. This isn't for twin flames. This is general, but it could also be reflection. What is being reflected back to you? Oh, we've got hope. Okay, hope can only be found through self-love and knowledge. Okay, so some of you might be struggling with hope, and it could be that you're struggling because of the experiences you've had with other people. So I'm going to keep this as generalized as I can without going too much into the twin flame stuff, because I have specific readings for that. Okay, emotional confusion. Yes, ma'am. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay, this is a very interesting group of cards, and I'll tell you why. So we have the Seven of Cups, which can be emotional overwhelm and confusion. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, which is sort of like not getting what you want, or not getting to the milestone you expect. Then we have the Five of Pentacles, so being left out in the cold, childhood wounding, all of those things, and we'll get to why these all go together. Then we have the Moon in reverse, which to me is very interesting, because the Moon is about reflection. It's about the light of your shadow, but there's almost a rejection to that, or an inability to see your involvement in this, and we'll also get to that. And then we have the Death card. So we have transformation, we have transition, we have stepping out of the cocoon. Okay, but for some of you, you're kind of stuck in the cocoon, and you're not getting the results that you expect and want, because your results-based thinking is a conditioning from your childhood, okay, that made you feel safe. So what I mean by that is you start to doubt yourself when you have, so we have expectations. We're like A plus B equals C. That's what we're taught. If you do this, you'll get this. And if you don't get this, it's because you've done something wrong. Okay, that's what we've been taught our entire lives. So when things aren't reflected back to you in the way that you expect them to, based on what you're doing, you automatically become emotionally confused about the situation. Okay, you become disheartened, you get, but to understand, okay, that, and this is the part about maybe not being able to see the light in your shadow, is recognizing that there's a part of you that's setting yourself up for failure, because you're basing your success and how you feel about yourself and your situation on how other people are behaving around you, or how things are folding or unfolding in the environment around you. So I really feel like Spirit is coming in this week to help you reconcile the belief systems you have, and really not, it's not about really judging yourself. It's just about feeling into, does this serve me? Does it make me feel good? Does it not make me feel good? Do I want to continue with it? This is very much inventorying where your emotional confusion lies, okay? Because we get confused when there's fear, or there's doubt, or there's some low vibrational energy interfering with our ability to see the truth of how things are. Okay. Yeah, so we have the Tower. Good old Tower. Divine assistance, making sure, yep. Yes. Ten of Wands, yeah. And then there was another, I think, was there another one? Yes, there was. Seven of Swords. Okay. So, I feel with this, Spirit is saying some of those things need to be torn down before you get your milestone, before you get to your goal, before you get your prosperous new beginning. And it's almost like, as far as belief systems go, you have to go back to the drawing board with this Page of Pentacles. You have to go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, what do I actually want to live by? What rules do I want to live by? Because these particular rules are not making me feel hopeful. They're not making me feel loved. They're not making me feel good. They're sure as heck not making me feel clear. So, and I feel like with this Ten of Wands, because the Ten of Wands is, it's that self-imposed burden, but at the same time, it's this crossroad energy. So you're at a crossroads where you could be like, okay, I can navigate, I can do my best to navigate these hidden elements, these aspects of me that are indecisive, because it's almost like you're torn. You want to live in this new reality, but you also are abiding by old rules and old beliefs. So it's almost like you're at a crossroad to decide, do I want to actually create my future? Okay. But am I willing to let go of the things that aren't serving me, like these beliefs I have about how things work? Okay. It's going to take some co-creation with Spirit to be like, okay, this is, because truly it's we have these, anyway, it's about releasing your beliefs. We're just going to leave it at that. But Spirit is here to help you navigate the beliefs that you've brought in from your childhood into your adulthood that aren't serving you anymore. Okay. All right. Spiritual alignment puts my manifestation in motion. Yeah, we can't operate from these old energies and expect a new reality. We just can't do that. They're not in alignment vibrationally. And unless one eye can see one way and the other eye can see another, the vibrational alignment isn't going to allow you to witness your experience in the way that you want it to. So I hope that this helped, Libra, and have yourself an amazing week.